Hey YouTube, it's your old friend Dominic Tringali here. I'm going to do another one of my culture shock life in Sicily videos, talking about the big changes that I've experienced while I was here and the things that have just really surprised me. And so this week I want to talk about something a little different than what I've spoke about in the past. Carnivals and circuses. So, I live in a small town of about 35,000 people. And before that, I lived in Eugene, Oregon, in a town that's about 150,000, give or take. And so it's quite smaller, but we seem to get a far higher number of annual circuses and carnivals here than I did back in the States. And they're not the same carnival and circus just in a rotation of Sicily. These are all competing operations that are trying to, sucker us in, get our money as quick as possible. And so I want to talk about a few things. Number one is, I'll start with the circuses, okay? These guys are coming to town, okay, and they have a menagerie of animals like you would expect. Lions, tigers, elephants, ostriches, what have you. And these animals are treated like shit. Okay, their pins are filthy. They're small, and they also put their cages in the most precarious locations that I can't quite wrap my mind around. Like they put a lion cage in the middle of the street, so when you're driving by, you can wave at it. And it's just sucking down exhaust all day from the hundreds of cars that just pass by on this busy street in downtown Augusta. And I don't know if that's just to drum up interest, like, oh, look at the pretty animals, and you're just going to want to take your kids are going to say they want to go and just bother you until you take them. But it's definitely something that if PETA existed out here. Or any sort of animal activist groups saw this happening, they would probably picket the hell out of these places. But, Italians, in my opinion, aren't really known for their animal humanity. For the most part, I see wild dogs roaming the streets, just attacking people, and the city does nothing about it. There's no sort of humane euthanasia programs in place. People just kind of just run them down with their cars. These wild packs of dogs run around. But getting back to the circuses, so there was the traditional circus, and then recently we had a Circo Aquatico, like an aquatic circus where they had penguins, sea lions, all types of just different sea mammals and small bird species, and it was just what you would expect of an aquatic circus, like a SeaWorld on wheels. But it's just terrifying because, like I said, these animals are treated like shit, and I imagine that I'm probably not seeing I'm not seeing the good that goes into it, but I'm definitely not seeing all the bad either. And I would have filmed at those locations, the circuses, if they were okay with someone actually coming in with a camera and exposing this. And there's, for good reason, they allow no video cameras to be used during the show or in the vicinity. And so it's like 10 or 15 euro for a ticket, which is just about 10 or 12 euro, which is about 15 bucks for a ticket. So it's not bad if you've been haven't seen the circus in a while, and you're really missing that element of your childhood, seeing the animals being forced to do tricks for your amusement. Then I guess it's exactly what you want. But the other thing I wanted to talk about is carnivals. Okay, we just recently had another carnival here in town, and you think carnies back in the States are bad? Okay, you think these guys just roll through town. They're traveling vagabonds, and they don't give two fucks about the human safety of the people who ride these rides. They just want to come in and exploit everybody in town. You think those guys are bad? Well, the carnies in Italy give negative fucks. Okay, they are just completely oblivious to everything. They're just smoking a cigarette while operating this fast spinning, rusted out carnival ride that's, you just swear, is just an instrument of decapitation and untimely death. You do not want to get anywhere. You don't even want to get like within 100 meters of these places, because they will suck you in and they will rob you of all your hard-earned money. They're all the negative stereotypes of carnies that you've heard over your life. In Italy, those are completely true, and they are. I don't want to say they're gypsies, but they really are gypsies, and it's just, that's the reality of it. And they operate these carnivals, and the games are all crooked. Nobody ever wins anything. The food is handled with the least amount of care, to the point where you just know you're going to get botulism if you hang out at one of these places. Like I said, the rides are rinky-dink, rusty, and dangerous. And I don't know what else to say other than you should, like I said, avoid circuses and avoid carnivals here. If you're ever in Italy and and your trip to Italy just happens to coincide with one of these carnivals, I would just avoid them, because for your own personal safety and also for your own personal love of animals. I'm an animal lover. It hurts me personally to see these creatures mistreated, because they're such majestic animals, and I feel like they would be so much happier in the wild. But what the hell do I know, right? I'm not a biologist or any sort of animal conservationalist. So and I am a meat eater. So maybe I don't have any ground to stand on. So I really appreciate you watching this. I would love to hear your comments down below. Clickety-clack that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already. And if you don't mind, give me a share, because I'm sure your friends might want to hear what I have to say as well. So, like always, time for my classic sign-off. Viva Italia. Keep watching.